Hello, this is Alliyan. Today, I will be introducing HLE Zeka's Taliyah in the mid lane. Here are the runes used in this game. This is currently the most popular rune setup. While OPGG recommend Cashback as the most popular rune, many professional players prefer to use Jack of Trades. The reason is that with Cashback you can gain 354 gold by the 2-core stage. However, with Jack of Trades you receive an adaptive force boost of 10, equivalent to 200 gold, at the item stage on the way to Seraph's Embrace. For Taliyah, who has low early game power, receiving a 200 gold boost at the 2300 gold stage is more beneficial than the 350 gold boost at the 7200 gold stage. This increases Taliyah's roaming play and skirmishing impact in the mid-game. Because of this, most LCK players prefer to choose Jack of Trades. Let's start breaking down God tier playing. The opponent is Tristana. This is a powerful pick against control mages like Azir, Victor, and Orianna. Due to the changes to the first core item, Kraken Slayer, Tristana has become a brutal pick, reigning supreme in the top meta. This all-in fight is where Tristana's threat lies. Moreover, Tristana continuously heals from Fleet Footwork, Absorb Life, Second Wind, and the Life Steal from Doran's Blade, making this trait a troublesome setup for her to the kill angle. As you saw earlier, Taliyah's Q has an O range about 175, dealing damage almost equivalent to a direct hit to enemies within this area. If you cast Q again from the same spot, it becomes an empowered Q. The empowered Q deals twice the damage of the first hit, and has a 1.3 times larger area of effect. However, it's important to note that the O damage of the empowered Q is about half to enemies it doesn't directly hit. While there is a health gap, Taliyah has countermeasures of Tristana's all-in. Taliyah's E Unraveled Earth might seem like a slow developing skill at first glance, but the casting time is actually short at 0.25 seconds, and segments after deploys from the first segment with a 0.17 second delay between another segments. Champions who try to blink over this E will be stunned, making it a crucial skill in the skirmishes with Tristana, who often engages with a blink. He successfully pushed Tristana under the tower with Seismic Shove and secured a solo kill. After recalling, he bought Tear of the Goddess and a refillable potion to maintain high health, and then returned to the lane. Immediately after returning to the lane, he used the refillable potion. However, deploying E like this in a close quarters engagement with Tristana is actually a misplay. I will explain the correct usage later. If he carelessly drops skills after a tough damage trade, as you can see, unlike assassins like Zed or Echo, the scary part of Tristana in the mid lane is her targeted skills that leave no room for skill dodging, leading to unavoidable burst damage. Her only weakness, pushing the wave with her passive and being unable to freeze the lane, is hardly a disadvantage in the short mid lane. This matchup is nerve-wracking for any mage, but Zeka carefully dominates. He buys boots and heads back to the laning phase. The decisive factors were phase rush and the slow effect from E. Let's start with the first key factor. Seeing Taliyah use her Q, Tristana goes in for an engage, but Taliyah responds immediately with W followed by E. Then she quickly moves towards the wall to gain the movement speed boost. This counterplay was exceptional. Champions standing on Taliyah's E are slowed, and this effect continues to apply even after Tristana blink in and disappearing skill effect from monitor. In response to Tristana's engage, Taliyah deployed E, moved to a more advantageous position, and activated phase rush. This speed boost allowed her to land a Q that normally wouldn't have reached Tristana, resulting in a favorable trade. While waiting for phase rush's cooldown, Taliyah warded near the Raptors to prepare for an aggressive play. However, just before the cooldown ended, Tristana engaged at close range again. In the previous failed encounter, Taliyah had placed Tristana outside the E zone, failing to apply the slow from Unraveled Earth and getting bursted down. But in this correct setup, Tristana couldn't chase her. Chasing Taliyah on foot at this distance was impossible. Finally, Taliyah shoot down on Tristana's careless movement. Seeing Tristana move within the narrow tower range, Taliyah closed in to bring Tristana within Q range, forcing her to retreat. Taliyah then used Seismic Show for an all-in burst, successfully securing a solo kill. The difficulty with Taliyah lies in maintaining distance and the high skill required for her point-and-click and skill shot abilities. Consistently landing her high cooldown Q at the right distance is essential, and her W is a crucial CC that must be hit accurately. As demonstrated, her E has high versatility in placement, allowing for enemy formation disruption with its slow effect. In addition to her roaming capabilities, her ultimate, which can alter terrain, has the potential to decide team fights, making the timing and angle of its use critical. Taliyah falls into the category of high difficulty, scaling DPS mages like Rise and Wei. When mastered, she has immense potential, making her a staple pick for skilled professionals. With Lost Chapter completed, and increased AP from Jack of all spades, her early game power spike not only increases lane pressure, but also accelerates her wave clear ability. In LoL, it's designed so that solely snowballing through lane dominance becomes difficult beyond a certain skill level. Therefore, when the mid laner gains control, the most straightforward way to snowball rationally is to approach skirmishes around the jungle rather than continually pressuring the opposing laner. Jungle dominance then cascades into advantages for the side lanes. Taliyah has a unique trait of easily joining skirmishes, thanks to her passive, which increases her movement speed near walls, in addition to her ultimate. Moreover, among DPS mages, she has relatively high burst damage, making her particularly effective in small-scale fights like the current one. She completes the Archangel's staff and returns to lane, though her early damage is low, making it difficult to gain control. Once she does, she can leverage a strong position to exert brutal zoning pressure. Taliyah's Q at max skill level has a cooldown of about 3 seconds. With a range of 1000, an Archangel's staff provides her with safety, allowing her to cast Q repeatedly and exert immense pressure. If enemies step into range to farm, she can use her other skills to cut off their escape and chip away at their health. Additionally, at higher ranks, players often harass from max range while barely avoiding tower aggro. This tactic makes it incredibly stressful for opponents to farm safely under their tower, often leaving them struggling to gather CS. Once Taliyah has pressured the enemy mid laner sufficiently, the next step is to assist the jungler. Although the enemy Gwen has got 6 kills and is quite strong. Killing the enemy's most fed jungler in the top jungle will cause their top laner cannot play aggressively, it making difficult for enemy top laner to play the lane properly. After that, destroy the mid tower, recall, push the wave, and then roam bot.
Yes!
レッドチームのタワーが破壊されました。ブルーチームのタワーが破壊されました。
This is the ideal scenario for a mid carry. By establishing mid lane dominance, gain control of the enemy jungle and secure the easiest outer tower. And achieving tower advantage in the side lanes leads to wave control dominance, allowing you to create favorable engage opportunities.
ブルーチームのタワーが破壊されました。
敵は粉々に砕かないとね。
ドミネーティング。レッドチームのタワーが破壊されました。シャットだ。ゴッドライク。レッドチームのダブルキル。
Successfully expanding your lane advantage and spread it into team-wide benefits. Rest of all is highlight for this game.
シャットダウン。ブルーチームはドラゴンを倒しました。シャットダウン。シャットダウン。倒しました。逃がさないわ。おっと。やっほーい。レッドチームのダブルキル。ステージ A サモナーが退場しました。